I'm not gonna lie. There was a time I wish I could have, be like, oh my god, just go to sleep, kid, go to sleep. I'm tired. I need my sleep. I think this to this day. I think still.
Yeah, it's people would consider that. Look at you, just being all happy and glowy. So everyone,
yeah, yesterday wasn't.
Yesterday wasn't. Well, we can talk about that later, because thank you everyone for joining us for another episode of the Convoluted Podcast. Yes, by the time you're listening to this, me and Liz have gone to a Halloween event, have gone to Cider Fest, and then has had a Mario Party because Mario Party Jamboree is out. And we played it this weekend. So it has been a joy. So I hope you guys are having, because this is the day that the week this gets released, it's going to be Halloween season. So hopefully you can enjoy that. Yeah, it is Halloween week, basically. October is always a whole Halloween month. There was a thing me and Liz were going to do on the side, but we just never were able to get together. Not potentially. Our schedules didn't meet up enough to record something fun. So maybe for next year we'll have a fun Halloween thing planned out. But plans change. Definitely October was a crazy time for Liz. I thought, remember when we said that last year, like 2024, is going to be the year, Liz, of change. Boy, wasn't it.
It's been a roller coaster, has it not? I mean, granted, we're only a couple months away from the end of the year, but oh my word, it has been a change.
It started out well, midway, I would say. You were still in recovery, if I remember right.
Yeah, I'm still in a little bit of recovery, but at the same time, I started ramping up my adventures.
Exactly, yeah. We did a lot of things, to the point, and then the end of the year, I don't know why, the end of the year just kind of like shoved a knife in you and twisted it. Like, or is that too dramatic? Right? Or does that how I feel? Is that how you feel?
I don't feel that way with the end of the year. I feel like I have been a whirlwind. I know that. You've been trying to keep up with me. You're like, what is she doing this time? I think it's more I've been a whirlwind. I know that. I have been everywhere and doing little things and this and that. So
but yeah, hopefully we've had some fun during these events. Nothing happened crazy. If not, we'll do an update on that. But we have a couple more stories, and there's one story in particular that we always like talking about. It's specifically Halloween themed. Just to kind of get in that flair, last week's episode was pretty heavy is not the right word, but more, the best way to put it,
concerning.
There you go. That's a good word. Very concerning. And I think it's good to open up these discussions of why it's concerning, what can be done, or what things can be just done to you and the people around you. But yeah, go ahead and listen to that episode. There was no bonus episode last week, but that's because, like I said, people, a lot of things happen. We're doing our best, but we've been putting out bonus episode contents a lot more than we did before. Remember when we were saying we were going to, but we weren't able to? Hey, we've been
not lining up.
No, but we were doing it for a while
this year. I'm not gonna lie.
We were doing it pretty good for a while. So if everything went well, we might have done a little bit of a bonus episode of the Halloween event and Cider Fest, and maybe a little bit of the Mario Party Jamboree. Maybe
a good bonus fest.
Yeah, hopefully the footage goes out well. We'll see. We'll see. But at the end of the day, we just want to enjoy ourselves during events like that. But if you guys get to see a little bit of it, it's not too bad. But let's enjoy some of the Halloween spirits, because the first article we're going to read, and it's always a fun one, is talking about kind of in our childhood. We talked about the best Halloween candy to get in our youth, but there's an article saying that not all Halloween candy is created equal. The 10 worst candies out there, and we're gonna agree or disagree on it. Let's start with, let's see what their number 10 is. Liz, your thought. Let's judge this as if you were a kid, not like now. Like now, candy is like now a very rare treat, I would say. Like you should indulge very little, but indulge when you can, right?
Right.
But as a kid, what are your thoughts if you received Lemonheads?
They weren't at the top of my list, that's for sure. They were there. I do, because I enjoy sour candies every once in a while, but they're like, they're not my favorite, but they're not the worst. I don't think they were the terrible. I think there's some other ones that were way terrible than this. So,
Ooh, let's rank these then. That would be let's see here. We'll call it keep, trade, trash. Let's do it that way. So,
okay.
what would you put it on?
This is kind of on the edge of the keep and trade one. So,
Oh, how about in between is like save for later? Oh no, save for later seems
save
like
for later.
Save for later is the ones where you want to eat the
for-
best ones later, though.
True. These are last resort.
Last resort. There you go. Last resort. So it's like you won't trade them.
They're the ones that you keep, but they're like the last resort. Like if you don't have anything and you want something sour, though.
Okay, let me
They're
write these
kinda
down. I will forget. Let me.
My brother-in-law actually still loves these to this day. This is his favorite candy.
All right, so we'll call it keep, last resort, trade, trash. Are those the 4?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Lemonheads, last resort. I would agree. I'm as a kid, they would be like hard candy wasn't my favorite, but a sour candy definitely was. So there was a positive on that note. And just sucking on a sour candy back in the day, like you just wanted sour in your mouth, right? So I would say last resort. I am also kind of on treading on the trade, but I would keep those besides trading them if I had to. Let's go with generic taffy.
Trash. Absolute trash. I do not care for taffy because it always got you stuck in your teeth. God. Yes, no, trash.
So,
what about you?
So generic taffy definitely is a trash one for me. Laffy Taffy, that's a keeper for me. For anyone who knows, Banana Laffy Taffy was one of my top 5 candies growing up.
It still is, y'all. It still is.
It still is to this day. But I can't have as much as I did as a kid. Like you said, taffy definitely gets in your teeth and everything. I can't do that anymore. But it still tastes good. But generic taffy, I don't know. It's just maybe because it's just so generic, right?
It's overutilized. I mean, they're like, oh, taffy.
Not
anybody.
Exactly. Not to say there isn't some
equal, but just sometimes.
Not to say there isn't some good taffy out there. There is some good taffy out there. It's just it is a candy a little bit for a very interesting palate, to say the least. Do you want to read the next one?
Atomic fireballs.
Ooh, the cinnamon ones.
Yeah.
I
can't remember.
It's close to the hot tamale family, you know?
Yeah.
They were just hotter than hot tamales.
I don't remember if we ever really got those, to tell you the truth.
Oh, really? You didn't? I used to get a couple. They weren't big. I would say these aren't really the popular Halloween candy, but if you got them, for my group growing up, I would say when we got them, it was a trade candy, definitely, because you would like some people I know liked them. So for me, they would be between a trade and trash because I wasn't a fan. Like I enjoyed a hot tamale every once in a while, but think of it as a Halloween treat. Do you want to get hot tamales? Or atomic fireballs?
I think I might have seen these ones, but they were like 4th of July candy for us when we were kids, I think.
So what would you put it on?
I don't know if we ever really got them at Halloween. I don't think they would be keep. And maybe a trade. I don't know. I don't think any of my siblings like that, so maybe it might be a trash one for us.
Okay. Next one. Interesting. Three Musketeers.
Those are a total keep. Like those are still my favorite candy to this day. Like I enjoy the sweetness of them all. The cream.
Yeah, as a kid, they weren't on my top list. They were more of a trade candy because there are some other better ones, but or actually more last resort kind of candy. Not yeah, it was a last resort. We have that in between. Um, yeah, definitely not the worst candy, but not definitely not one of the top, like not top like 5 or top 10 of everyone's candy, right?
Yeah, I still enjoy the Three Musketeers every once in a while. Not often, but you know.
But as a kid, would you like
Was that?
yes, Three Musketeers?
Yes, that was. It was like yeah, that was like that's a great candy. It was so creamy.
All right, you can go ahead and read the next one.
Nuts.
Ooh, this is an interesting one. What did you think? I'll give you on my opinion first.
I think mine was a trade on this one. I don't care. I didn't care for dots.
I was a keeper on dots. I love dots. Like those little box of dots, you only got like 4 or 5 in them, right? I think if I'm remembering right, you don't get a lot. But if you had that box of dots, I'm like, I'll trade you something for those dots. Like definitely, I would have been trading to you for dots.
I was trading. I trade those suckers. I don't care for these.
So the next one on here, which is interesting for anyone who doesn't know, but these are off-brand pixie sticks. So do you remember pixie sticks?
I do. Oh my god. They were hazardous back then and they still are today.
Yeah, I don't because pixie sticks don't really pop up as much unless you go to like a specialty store or it's Halloween season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then I've never seen off-brand pixie sticks. Have you?
I did growing up as a kid because you saw them everywhere. You know, whether that be the fiestas or little Mexican stores or yeah. I was familiar with them. They weren't exactly brand name all the time. So I want to say these were kind of a keeper because they were fun.
Oh no,
Get that sugar
definitely.
quick.
But true, I would get pixie sticks, but off-brand ones seems a little sketchy. But as a kid, probably was a keeper because it's sugar. You know, kids don't care.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have cared. Just like let me pour that in my mouth.
Yep.
Go ahead and read the next one.
Pretzels.
I
never got pretzels in my Halloween. Ever. Things are starting just to come around now, but
What would you have liked that you got those as your Halloween candy?
Absolutely not. Nope. Nope.
I'm like,
I mean, I like pretzels, don't get me wrong, but like
if you're out there like getting your treats, I'm like, why did you give me pretzels? Where's my chocolate?
It's like, you know, the kids getting toothbrushes or Play-Doh or something like that.
Definitely. Yeah. There was when I was like roaming Chicago and we went to department store to department store. We don't do that in this area, and I don't know if they still do.
They do. It's certain areas like tennis.
Yeah. I think a lot has changed.
I think there's another one.
But
I can't remember.
Yeah. But it's also like it gets depending on the weather too. Like in Chile, we're also in the Pacific Northwest where the weather is can get really.
You never know if it's gonna be rainy Halloween.
I hope we had a very nice weather for our. Actually, we should look up the weather for this Friday. But anyways,
but the Halloween I have to work, so I'm not quite sure how if I'm gonna be awake for going trick or treating. So.
But as a pretzels, I would not be happy. I would. That would be a trade, potentially trash one. It wouldn't be trash. I would still eat it, but it would be like a trade if I could get something better. If I got those. Not the best treat for Halloween, unless they were chocolate covered pretzels. But these just say pretzels, right? Nothing else.
Yeah, just regular old pretzels that were shaped like pumpkins, probably.
Yeah, no, they have to be. Yeah, I don't like this article says I don't have a problem, but it's not a. Ooh,
Yeah.
go ahead and read the next one. It was something we talked about.
We were just talking about hot tamales.
So thoughts on hot tamales.
Last resort for me. Those are the last resort. Like, I don't want to, but it's the only good thing I got. I mean, I enjoyed them. Don't get me wrong, but
They were
again, I
trades for
don't think
me.
it were these bigger packs. There was definitely the smaller, like little
boxes, kind of like the dots
packages.
boxes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they were trades for me. Like I said earlier, I think I could do the what was it called, the atomic fireballs, because when they were given to you, they were like single package, right? Compared to a box of hot tamales. Like even now, I could well, no, as a kid, I could eat a small box of hot tamales, but they were like once again like not what I want. They would be trades for me. If
Yeah.
all right,
I can see that
next
too.
one. Ooh, double bubble. Double bubble.
My kids still just double bubble. I mean, I enjoyed it as double bubble, so that was definitely I enjoyed it. I used to shove as many as we can in our mouth and try to see if we get the biggest
Yep.
bubble. So that
They
was
were
definitely a keep. They were
they were
definitely
keepers.
a keeper.
They were keepers. Oh, like they. We all as kids knew they weren't the best candies. I think we all agree on that. They weren't the best.
Yeah, we all agreed, but they were like the best ones to have fun with.
Exactly. You wanted to just make the biggest bubble and have like a mom go ma ma ma, and then try to make the bubble, and then they would lose
the first time.
And then you would lose.
I
it would
think my
lose.
jaw got tired.
And you would lose the flavor within like what a minute or two, and you're like, all right, try to blow this bubble. They were not. Well, we can agree they weren't the best candy, but definitely they were a keeper for the enjoyment they were.
Yeah.
All right, Liz, what is the number one on this thing?
Necco Wafers. I never got them as a kid. If I did, it was every once in a while, but I always got rid of them because I didn't like the chalkiness of them.
I don't think I've ever got Necco Wafers.
Oh. I never gotten. I might have, but it's been a long time, so I can't remember.
Are they like Smarties?
Exactly, but kinda, but chalkier.
Like Smarties definitely was a near trash. It was like definitely like a last resort trash, but you couldn't trade those things. They were not.
Oh, you couldn't trade them. They were trash, absolutely trash.
They were near trash. Like I would eat them.
I remember having one.
And for anyone listening from the up north to our Canadian friends or fans, the Smarties in America and the Smarties in Canada are completely different. But if they're like near what, if Necco Wafers are close to what Smarties were, like they would be like Lazarus trash for me. More so in the trash section, because yeah, as a kid, it's just like that dusty, dry candy, right? So it's like
as a kid, any sweetness.
Yeah, and
it was like nothing. I'm like, what are you giving me?
It's almost like that same idea of like those Valentine's candy. Those what are they called? You know what I'm talking about, right? The not Halloween. Valentine's hearts. I forget what they're called.
Although I know what you're talking about. I can't remember.
Well, you don't know.
Tarts.
God, I gotta look it up now.
Sweet tarts? No. Oh my god, I don't remember. I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about, those heart ones. I actually kind of enjoyed the white ones out of those ones. Boxes, I'm not gonna lie. I think my white ones are my favorite ones. Or minty.
Sweethearts. They're called sweethearts.
Okay.
Right?
The sweethearts are a little bit sweeter though than the Necco. I'm not gonna lie.
No, yeah. I think I'd rather have sweethearts than the wafers / Smarties. But they're in the same vein, right? But yeah, those are our thoughts on the Halloween candies. Let us know your thoughts of some of the candies you had as a child. Some of the ones we listed here were some of them on your keep list, trade list, or last resort, or just trash. Were these all just trash for you? It's kind of hard to say all of the trash. As kids, candy's candy, you know. Like definitely, you could say all of them were last resort. But let's kind of get.
And when I was in kids' school in California, we had to give up some candy to give to the kids and go out and I can't remember the city state that we gave him to. I just remember we had to give him off.
I remember
The
you
kids
mentioned
who
that.
didn't have a lot.
But talking about kids, let's kind of jump into some of the news stories. But there's one definitely news story I want to get into talking about kids. Because apparently parents accuse Texas elementary school of giving children sleepy stickers. Liz, have you heard of sleepy stickers?
I'm familiar with them because I do have some for like bug bites. They're awesome. So.
You use sleepy stickers for bug bites? Did you want to go to bed and not feel the itch?
No. I have the ones that are itchy for itchies. I have itchy ones. So if you get a bug bite from a mosquito, you put them on there, and they keep it from being itchy. So,
I know. I'm
itchy
just
prevention. Hey, no, I haven't. No, I have the when you want to get hangover kind of hangover prevention ones. Great.
But yeah. So here we go. Do you have the article pulled?
I had that today up on mine.
Okay, you want to read it?
Hey, I can read it. I said, "Hey, do y'all get these at school?" And she said, "Yeah, that's a sleepy sticker."
All right, give it a second, everyone. Liz's audio is staggering again. One moment. Sorry, we were just talking. All right, Liz, talk for a second. Nothing. What the heck? You were just good. What is happening? All right, give us one last second, everyone. Go ahead, Liz. Audio is not coming out. What the heck? You were just everyone hearing Liz. Okay, there's that. Okay, go for it, Liz. I see your audio is coming out, but you know what I mean. You're like flashing, so you are talking, but your audio. I try something.
Nothing today. No.
There we go. Go ahead.
Parents at Texas school say a teacher gave their pre-K students sleep aids to make them sleepy.
There we go. Perfect. All right. Sorry. For some reason, the audio just off on Discord. So one day we'll figure out how to record other ways. But Discord is jumpy sometimes. But I think I know what might be causing it. But let's continue.
Perfect.
Go ahead, Liz. See what's wrong with
School?
what are kids doing? What's happening to the kids? We have to protect the kids.
School district says there's an active criminal investigation and they removed 4 teachers from the classroom. We are not going to stay quiet, Lisa Lubiano, who says her 5-year-old daughter Lane told her in September that teachers have been putting sleepy sticker on her body.
Whoa.
Today.com have not verified the product in question. Parent Melissa Guilford, whose 4-year-old daughter Ava said she is not given a sleep aid sticker at Northgate Crossing Elementary School in Spring, Texas, says it looks like an over-the-counter sleep patch that contains melatonin.
Damn.
Bruh.
I'm not gonna lie. Those wouldn't be bad for me when I just need like a little bit of sleep, because I think twice a week. Oh, it's been less now. It used to be 4 to 5 times a week, I would need one of those. But for anyone knowing, and you could probably attest to this, Liz, you can disprove me. Consistent use of any medication will not dilute, will make you very ineffective and make you dependent on it, and you'll need to use more and more. Definitely
melatonin is one that we create in our bodies alone.
So yeah, so definitely I was trying to lessen that, and I've gone down to 1 or 2 times a week depending on what's happening. But yeah, it wasn't having like a patch to just quick pop wouldn't be too bad, but I think I would fear for myself how to become too dependent on it too.
You think about what you take orally and what you get transdermally has very different effects on your body.
But anyways, but what are your thoughts just kind of hearing this happening to just kids in general?
I don't think these teachers wanted to teach. They just want to put the kids to sleep and do other shenanigans on the clock.
Yeah, and you know what's funny is like this just happened to school. There's a lot of people, parents that do this to their own kids just so they can have time. Like, imagine if you were just like, if you could put the kids to sleep for a little bit so you could have a little bit of time for yourself. Is that a dark thought that potentially would have came to mind?
I'm not gonna lie. There was a time I wish I could have, be like, oh my god, just go to sleep, kid. Go to sleep. I'm tired. I need my sleep. I fight this to this day, I think still.
Yeah, it's people would consider that a dark thought, but it's that moment of reprieve sometimes is all you need, right? It's just like you just need a breather from it. But then it's a thing where it's like if you do it once, like you just need that breather. But then there's those times where it's like that kind of that click in someone's brain, like maybe if I do it again, like okay, give me more time and stuff like, and then it just becomes habit forming, and it's one of those things. It can become very because children are developing, and it can become very what is it become a hindrance to them, unless there's another word, but that's what I'm coming up with, to their development, because you're adding a substance to their body chemical as they're growing up, and can be very dangerous. And for some people that could be like you're developing something like you're loving, so it can become very dangerous. Like for that one moment of peace can become a trigger to what if I do it again just for another moment of peace or longer. Scary. It can become it's a slippery slope. It's a very slippery slope.
Very, very.
But then that's a whole parental thing. But as an education thing, that's pretty heinous.
It's not doing your job.
All right, continue.
A spokesperson from the Spring Independent School District in Houston emailed today.com statements acknowledging the deeply troubling matter and saying the matter is under a criminal investigation. Northgate Elementary administration was notified by a parent that their child was given a sleep aid patch in the classroom by their teacher. Upon learning the allegation, the teachers in that classroom were immediately removed and placed on administrative leave. As a precautionary measure, 2 paraprofessionals in the classroom have been placed on administrative leave pending the ongoing investigation by the Spring ISD Police Department. End quote. The statement states. Superintendent Lupita, and I'm going to mutilate this. Noso? Is that how I'm saying pronunciating it?
Something like Hinosa. Something like a Hinosa.
Said in a separate, did not come out a separate written statement that the matter is under investigation and will take all the necessary steps to prevent this from happening again. Viviana tells today.com that in September, her daughter Lynn was excited to bring a sticker home from school. She said, "This is my sleepy sticker. I got to bring it home," said Viviana of her initial conversation with Lynn. Viviana says her daughter added, "I get the sticker when I go to nap."
That's pushing the boundaries, definitely. Elementary school, definitely. I'm not gonna lie, naps are very useful for children. Mostly they're just kind of, that's how I think in preschool and kindergarten they're still in that That
Oh yeah. I don't know if
um
kindergarten does, but necessarily early downtime, at least to be quiet, just to kind of give the body some rest. But I
yeah.
don't think I
Well,
do
yeah,
remember those times. So
but
I want to go back to those. Can I go back to have a nap time?
that's the thing is like people forget that like some people like it's very stigmatized that having a nap can be very rejuvenating. I think we talked about it. It's like having a even just a 20-minute nap, 10-15 minutes, just having something to just garner that rest can just rejuvenate you for another couple hours. I think I remember I think we talked about it. Some big companies have like sleep pods to give their employee naps. I'm like, and that's sometimes that's all you need. Mostly if you're imagine if you're working like a 10-12 hour shift, having a nap in between there can like do wonders. And I think this is just me spouting something. I think there's been studies that say that giving adults a nap can really help with their whatever their productivity levels, right? But that's to do your own research, everyone. But yeah, I think we should try to avoid it, like try to stigmatize less these ideas of having naps for adults. But like,
Yeah.
when can you actually take a nap, Liz? Realistically, that's
My 15-minute nap break. I can take a break in 15 minutes. But
yeah,
20 minutes is ideal because you at least get to that point where you can reset.
exactly. So, but yeah, we should try to like make that an actual thing. Is like people like having a little bit of rest does not hinder you. It's like it's just gives you a moment like of just emptiness. No, not emptiness. Just because you're still thinking a
Reset.
lot.
It's like kind of in a way, it's a reset. Kind of gives you that, like you said, a rejuvenation point, and but it also gives you that moment where you're like, oh, okay, good, okay, I can do this. So,
Well, anyways, continue.
Viviana says her sweet, cheerful daughter had been grumpy, angry, and sleepless since starting school at Northgate Elementary in August. Viviana says she first called the district police department, which was directed to her district officials, explaining it to would send an officer to join them. Viviana says she and her husband showed up at the school, patch in hand, and spoke to the principal. Viviana says she left the meeting understanding that an investigation would take place and that the school would keep her updated. Afterwards, Lubiano says she made numerous phone calls to the school asking for an update, and she wasn't giving a satisfying answer. Frustrated at what she calls the runaround, Lubiano says she contacted other parents. Guilford tells Today.com that she learned about the sleeping aid patch from Lubiano on October 7th and immediately spoke to her daughter Ava. I said, hey, do you all get these at school? And she said, yeah, that's the sleepy sticker, said Guilford, adding that Ava says her teacher puts the sticker on her body. It's scary because you want to trust, but to find this out, the trust is broken. Superintendent Lupita responded with a written statement that says, in part, the report that the teacher allegedly gave a student a sleeping aid is deeply troubling and completely unacceptable. Please rest assured that upon learning of this incident, the staff members involved were immediately removed from the classroom. An administrative and police investigation began, and we addressed the concerns of the student's family, offering our sincerest apology.
Yeah, once again, going into that thing where it's like you going into giving your child to an establishment, you're hoping the adults in that are doing their best effort to provide them with what you hope
Education.
with education and overall a safe environment to be
And a
in.
safe environment. Exactly, too. That, too.
Like that's what you hope. Like we've talked about enough stories that we can honestly say that most or some educational establishments are not that safe with how recent, or at least the last couple decade or two have been for some kids. We've read multiple stories of how some education instructors, teachers, whatever you want to call them, have been with students. It is not a place a lot of not a lot of parents would want to send their children to. It just becomes this we're it's like almost we're almost fear mongering, right? But we're not. We're just kind of, it's just more, once again, going back to what we were talking about, it's just learning about what's happening and knowing, like, and then talking to your kids. Yes, they're elementary kids, but they can still just talk to them and ask them stuff. Because imagine if they never were told about these sleepy stickers at all. Imagine if you found out your kid was like at the end of the year of their first grade, elementary school, first grade, right? I think.
Pre-K. They were
Pre-K. Yeah, imagine if you all the way until, and then the last day is like those are fun. We all got sleepy stickers. That's when you found out that your kid was getting sleepy stickers. It was like the end of the year, and all year. Imagine that's how.
But the fact that this parent was going a couple months in, and there was no results until she started getting vocal with other parents, which I think is great because.
No, yeah, definitely it is.
That they didn't do something faster. So.
Well, I would think it's big
to get the fire going, right?
Bruh.
So I could see it from a, like, once again, doing a little devil's advocate. The school is probably doing a lot of the investigation. It's things like these move slow, which sucks, right? They just move slow. So the school potentially was doing their stuff, trying to figure out what's happening. Maybe this is just me, maybe allegedly or potentially trying to skirt some stuff and try to avoid any more public scrutiny. But going back to the ideal of like the court of public opinion, like once they find out that their school is like this, like what's happening in their entire school, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's potentially they were trying to put out fires before the people saw smoke, right? Because someone saw a little like glimmer, or like smelled smoke, and then like, oh, we gotta fix this, put it out before anyone else. But luckily, a parent was. It's like doing their due diligence to put some effort into. Hey, are any of your other kids? Because it could have been an incident where it's just like one child was, what's the word? Singled out.
Yeah.
Like they were the problem child. Like this problem child is not sleeping when everyone else. Sleepy patch. Knocked out. Which is still wrong. I'm not saying that's better. But it's one of those things where it's like, it could have been one of those incidents, but either way, it's not a good, not a proper answer to the whole situation, right? And it's like I said, I can be spouting a lot of things. Even I'm not a parent, but it's one of those things where it's just a common sense thing, right? Like you shouldn't be doing this. It's just like where do these teachers or instructors have the gall to like, hey, I'm gonna slap these over the counter like things on them, maybe because they thought, oh, they're over the counter, they should be safe. How do you know?
Not everything is over the counter is safe, y'all. It's not even FDA navigated, so you're not quite sure if you're actually getting the right product half the time. So
once again, going again with the idea is like people just don't understand what FDA means or FDA approved means. You tell someone
Food and Drug Administration.
People don't understand.
Just a little knowledge, y'all. Just a little knowledge.
So yeah,
that's why Tylenol is not poisonous anymore.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's just like once again, these are the establishment you put your children into, and then look where they come out. Like we just saw in last week's episode what happens with just the level of brain rot that's out there. Imagine if you start like what is it? Medicating, even though it's not medication, but it's still a form of it, right? Medicating them without the parents' knowledge, right? Like it's crazy. But here, a good question. As a parent, what are your thoughts on this whole situation?
It's scary. It is not ideal. It's not what is supposed to be happening in the school system. Nobody should be medicating my kid except for me. When I'm in it's a more of a not a control thing, but just a more controlled environment. You don't, and the fact that these kids are being fucked up, and then the fact that the sleep cycles got mooned on so many levels, like the potential of this happening to another, yeah, once you start fucking with people's sleep, that's when things get problematic, right?
Definitely. The sleep is one of those things. We even talked about that one kid who tries to stay awake on a live stream for a couple days, and it can mess you up. Like an overabundance of sleep and a lack of sleep. Like that's why people say there's a happy medium, right? It's supposed to be what between 6 to 8 hours. Or let me double check while
It's
you. But yeah,
longer for women. Just saying. I know that people diss me on it, but I'm gonna tell you the
I'll
truth.
find
It's
out. I'll
longer for
find out.
women. All right, you find out. But honestly, it is just grossly mishandled and grossly should have been handled better by the teacher, and the teacher shouldn't be teaching then. So.
Okay, according to Google, once again, we're going to be reading the Google thing. On average, adults, this is the adult one because teens are a little different too. I can look up the teen ones because definitely as a teen, that's interesting. On average, an adult needs 7 to 9 hours of sleep per night. I don't sleep at night. However, the
I know you
amount
don't.
of
You work.
however the amount of sleep a person needs can vary, and some need few as 6 hours or as many as 10. Sleep
I'm
is
on
less
that 10 spectrum. I'm near that 10 one. I need 10 hours.
Sleeping less than 7 hours per night on regular basis is associated with number of adverse health outcomes, including weight gain, obesity, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, stroke, depression, increased risk of death. This is what Google says. So for anyone, sleep 7+ hours and you'll be perfectly golden. So, but anyway,
Happy medium.
so yeah, have medium 7 to 9. So that the golden 8 hour mark, right? But yeah, definitely it can be a hindrance. What do you think a teen should be?
I think it should be almost 10 hours of sleep, if not more.
Oh wow, no, it is not actually.
No?
The American Academy of Sleep Medicine recommends teenagers ages 13 to 18 should sleep in a 12-hour period. Should be 8 to 10. So the nines, the
Was right about 10.
should be so the nines
Okay.
the golden one. But most teens only sleep about 67 hours apparently per.
Damn.
I'm trying to think of my teen years. Definitely I stayed up a lot, and I slept like the.
I stayed up a lot, but I also got to sleep in a lot too. So, but I also know that I had to sleep a lot too to get up and move in the morning because I had more early morning days. So.
Because I remember also because there was like a thing where this might be just me spouting stuff, but there was a thing where like there's like a period of time where teens are more mentally aware, and having school later would have been better for most teens for active learning. But why have something for teens? The adults are the ones suffering because they have to teach them. Like just because they're the future doesn't mean anything. They have to accommodate adults.
I gotta kick over our boomer asses.
Exactly. So they have to wake at 7 in the morning. But yeah, definitely it's interesting to look into these like studies, but it should not be we should not be medicating kids to get to these.
No.
It's disappointing. I hope things like look forward because it looks like they caught 2 of the people and it's being investigated, which is good, but like how did it get to that point, right? Or how was it not, and how long were they being, because how long has the school year been going now? Because this is September.
This is from August. Apparently they start earlier than us. So on the West Coast.
So how long has it been now? Is October?
I'm looking about 3 months roughly.
That's a lot. And this is saying like they didn't always do it. Let's just say they did it 3 out of the 5 days. That's 8 times 4. That's 12. 12 times 3 is 36. 36 times. Look, I can do math. If you guys want to know what that's about, listen to the last week's episode.
3 times 3 times 3.
But yeah, imagine in those 3 months your child was 36 times per medicated without your knowledge. That's almost a month.
That's a little over a month.
Yeah. So it's wild. It's wild. Now here's a question. Like, imagine if here's an interesting question. Imagine if this is a side tangent. What if they told you that if your child wasn't sleeping, that they would get one of these quote sleepy patches to help them?
Hell no. No.
But as a general
No.
thing, do you would that be better as a general thing?
No. Still, again, I'm not medicating my kid. I'm the one that's supposed to be medicating my kid, not them. I mean, we all have to sign off medication slips if we give our kid anything at school these days. So, oh, I'm bringing Tylenol. All right, we need a medication slip that is okay for your kid to have by the school nurse, given so many mLs of it, or ibuprofen or whatever. Oh, wait, this is their medication that they're supposed to take. They're on antibiotics 4 times a day. Okay, well, they know I got to get it at this time and this time, and they have to go to the office, and the nurse gives it to them at that time.
So okay, so no, even if they ask first, you're against that idea for the parents.
Yeah, absolutely, as a parent, because if we have to sign off medications, even for my daughter to carry an inhaler, they, you know what I mean? I have to sign off on that stuff too. Yeah.
Ooh, fun. Like, you're not allowed to breathe properly. You're not allowed to bring in that inhaler. That would be hilarious. Like, I'm sorry, you're not allowed to like breathe normally during the day, but I have gym today. You're gonna have to suffer, child. That's how you grow up. Yeah.
Pass out on the floor. And it's about the lawsuit waiting to happen.
Hey, that's what keep us with the news stories, right? It's once again, it's sad to see that this is happening. Once again, it's just another thing. Just like, you don't think it would happen. It's a thing that happens, and here's hoping better change happens in that local. And once again, I think it's another thing where it's just, hopefully you just talk to your kids. Just if you have kids, even if you have nephews and stuff, like, see how they're doing, and if something weird's happening, because this is quote a simple just sleepy patch. There can be some very nasty things that happen, and we've had stories of these nasty things. And it's sometimes just asking a simple question. I'm like, tell me more about that, because it can lead to some potential good from this evil. Anything last to say, Liz?
Nope. Just ask your kids what's going on in school. I mean, it doesn't hurt, right? Even if it's your nieces and nephews. I mean, it's a great context to, because sometimes they don't always tell their parents, but they might tell an auntie or an uncle. So
exactly. So okay, we are actually getting towards the end. I think we don't have very short. We want to dive into a 4-minute one. We have like we have like 5-ish.
Right.
You have one that you want
the Dolphin.
Yeah.
Or that's another one.
We know Dolphin just because how horribly goofy it is. Just horrible and goofy at the same time. Go ahead, Liz.
Yeah. I'm lucky to be alive, says man, attacked by sexually frustrated dolphin.
It makes you not want to go swim with the dolphins. Were you a type of person that wanted to go swim with the swim with the dolphins? Did you want to?
I have.
Oh my God, you're lucky to be alive, Liz. You're lucky to be alive.
No, they told us, okay, if you're gonna rub the dolphin, stop at this point, because after that, we don't need to create some havoc.
Ooh, damn. So yeah, definitely there's been stories in the last couple decades that this happens. There's actually been deaths that it has happened, like there has, which is sad to say, but people still swim with the dolphins to this day. So it's just one of those things, you just gotta know the risks, right? You gotta know the risks. Mm-hmm. Liv survived, so
I've lived to tell. I was over.
But let's see.
Oh my God.
Let's see.
Oh my God, that's almost 10 years ago since I've done that. God, mind blown.
Damn, Liz just had another core memory just pop. All right, continue.
A man says he's lucky to be alive after being attacked by a sexually frustrated dolphin, which experts believe is responsible for terrorizing a Japanese town all summer.
Ooh, that dolphin
This
was
is not an
getting.
isolated event. This is a multiple event.
Hey man, that dolphin wasn't getting any. You know, he wanted anything. You know, if
Apparently, Takuma Goto has been swimming off at the town of. I'm going to mutilate this. I apologize in advance. Tsuruga.
yeah, it's Aruga.
And central Japan with a friend earlier this summer when they were attacked by a lone dolphin. Experts believe a single dolphin, which may be sexually frustrated, could be responsible for at least 15 attacks on swimmers in Fuki this summer, up from 5 incidents last summer and the one in 2022.
Holy shit, dude, 15 attacks? Damn, that dolphin really needed some. Where are all the female dolphins at? Or where are the male dolphins? Whatever it was. Like, where is this dolphin partner?
It's a male attacking the female. They need females.
Oh, okay, man. Well,
granted, 2 male dolphins have been together too.
yeah.
Dolphin attacks on humans are generally considered rare, given that they do not see us as prey, which initially gave Mr. Goto a false sense of security. He and a friend had been swimming at the Crystal Beach before going around 20 meters offshore when the dolphin attacked, first targeting his friend. Alarmed at his friend's cries, Mr. Goto turned to see what was happening as the dolphin's head breached the surface. I knew it was not a shark, but it came straight at me, he said, adding that he did nothing to attract or antagonize the dolphin, but that it was nonetheless being a sustained assault. It attacked me and bit me, he said. It kept attacking me. I genuinely believed that I was going to die. I was most worried that I was going to be dragged underwater and further out to sea, he said.
Oh yeah, dolphins like are like notorious for like murdering like fish and like literally like fucking them. Like it's like necrophilia to another level. It is that wild. Like it sounds like a joke, but they are necrophiliacs. Like they are when they're horny for anything. Like that's it is wild. It is wild.
A surfer eventually came to Mr. Goto's rescue as onlookers watched in horror from the beach. Once he was ashore, he washed the bite wounds with water. The insides of my finger was popping out, he said, and I was taken to a nearby hospital. The 23-year-old who works in financial sales was left with a massive gash on his left index finger, which required 5 stitches, as well as a bite wound to his left wrist and forearm and his right hand and upper arm. Experts believe the lone dolphin may have been trying to communicate by biting, a common trait among male mammals.
Oh, it was male. Okay. Ooh,
It could still be attacking another male. It's pretty soon. It appears that the multiple incidents have been committed by the same individual dolphin, said Mari Kobashi, head of the Marine Biology Laboratory at Tokyo University of Agriculture. It is believed to be a male Indo-Pacific bottlenose, and we know that males sometimes communicate by biting each other, so it may be that is trying to do with humans, she said. Also, there's a species that usually lives in groups, so it's possible it's lonely. Experts also believe the dolphin
definitely is lonely.
Yeah. It may be sexually frustrated following reports and other incidences attempted to press its genital tails against the victims.
Nobody wanted this lonely dolphin, you know.
Help the dolphin out, man.
Yeah, I could stop attacking you.
I volunteer you.
You were with dolphins. You can go back. You survived once. You can calm it. Just don't let it kill you.
Oh. Dr. Allen added the dolphin may have been shunned from his own community and therefore be seeking alternative companionship.
Maybe it was too perverted. I bet you it had just too wild of kinks, you know. Too wild. Even too far from necrophilia. Like, I wonder how horrible this dolphin was. Like why don't you just fucking a dead corpse of a fish? Like it just was wild, probably. A whole wild. We kind of get the gist. My God, it makes you not want to do these kind of events. These activities, right? Hearing these stories. And mostly when this one seems like it was just, they were out on the beach. Imagine just going to the beach Like, okay, just a fun day swimming, and then out of nowhere, it makes the idea of shark attacks like
Smile.
non-exist. Yeah. So it's scary because hopefully this individual will not be afraid to go back in the ocean.
It looks
Mostly,
like it is.
does he really? Oh, that sucks for him. But yeah, it is traumatic. It becomes sadly a core memory that you were attacked by a sexually frustrated dolphin that was literally trying to kill and basically use you as a fleshlight. And it is like that's how you're gonna go. If you survive, that's a whole nother story. But if you die and they recover your body, then like just incinerate, ashes.
Exactly.
Like, wouldn't you want that, Liz? Like, don't put my body out. Just ashes me.
No, just toss me back in the water. Just toss me back in the water.
Like, you didn't find my body. You did not find my body. Just let the other fishes eat. You couldn't find me. That is sad. Yeah. For mostly the quote majestic creatures to be like that. Talk about horror stories, Liz, for this Halloween season.
I know, right?
Dun, dun.
Something so innocent, so
dun,
horror.
dun, dun, dun. Oh god. All right, guys, let us know if you guys want to go swimming with the dolphins in anytime soon. Hearing that story makes me not want to.
I know, right?
So, everyone, thanks again for listening. We'll see if we have a bonus episode. If we do, it should be popping up at the end of this. But if not, well, we tried. We are getting to that end of the year where we probably will have less episodes and we'll take a small break. But we'll try our best to put out like at least 1 or 2 episodes in the next couple of weeks. Not like we'll have 1 or 2, but we'll see how our schedule looks, because it is getting to that season where our busy lives become even busier, sadly. Liz definitely is. She has a whole nother thing happening on top of that. But Liz, take us out.
And thank you again for watching another wonderful episode of the Convoluted Podcast. I'm your host, Liz, and this is Jesus. Bye.